Hi. The last time we left off, we were going to discuss what to do once you've taken all the research from a particular site. So now that we've done that, what we're going to do is we're going to copy the side that we made our own information from. So we've put this into our own words. We are not going to copy the side that we directly took from the website. So I'm taking this side, and then I'm going to go to the organizer. Now this is in the Google Classroom for you if it's helpful. It kind of broke down the questions that we're researching here so that you can think about where that information would fall. In other words, where would that information go if it was answering these questions? So first off, for the sake of this activity, I'm going to change mine to Vancouver because I'm doing that as my example. And then I'm going to copy this here. And there's my information so far. Now, what causes earthquakes to happen is one of my research questions. So I'm going to take the information that was related to what causes earthquakes to happen, which is pretty much all of this, and stick it under here. And now I'm going to try to formulate it into sentences. So earthquakes are sometimes caused by human activities such as dynamite or other explosions. That's not as important, so I'm going to put that at the bottom. Let's start with this information. This is important. The Earth's crust is made up of tectonic plates. Okay. The plates move away from one another or towards one another or even sideways. Plates move away from one another, toward one another, or even sideways. When plates move toward one another, pressure can build up and eventually it needs to be released. This happens especially along fault lines, which are divisions of the crust. There you go. When energy releases, it can cause the ground to move several centimeters to many meters. Earthquakes are sometimes even, that sounds good, caused by human activities such as using dynamite or other explosions. There. So let's see if that makes sense. When I finish putting my ideas into sentences, I need to reread it to see if it makes sense. The Earth's crust is made up of tectonic plates. The plates move away from one another, or toward one another, or even sideways. When plates move toward one another, pressure can build up and eventually it needs to be released. This happens especially along fault lines, which are divisions of the crust. When energy releases, it can cause the ground to move several centimeters to even many meters. It sounds weird. When energy releases, it can cause the ground to move several centimeters, or, that sounds better, or even many meters. Earthquakes are sometimes even caused by human activities such as using dynamite or other explosions. So there. Now, if you did this only, this would be definitely a pass for what causes earthquakes. You would get a passing grade. In order to get a higher mark, like a level 3 or 4, ask yourself, does it answer all the questions? So one of my questions would be, what causes the plates to move? So here, I'm going to add some additional research I can do. What causes the plates to move in the first place? So we learned about that in class, and you can look up convection currents or use your textbook. And then when energy releases, it can cause the ground to move several centimeters. Earthquakes are sometimes even caused by human activity. Okay, so that's the only major question I have here. Those who did additional research might find other things like seismic waves, the epicenter, some of the terms that we didn't spend a lot of time on. That would be a level 4. So if you're aiming for a level 4 in this project, it would be doing additional research that maybe really goes above and beyond what was generally discussed in this course. But for getting a 70 or a passing grade, this would be definitely acceptable if you answered this question: what causes the plates to move in the first place? So when I do a question for myself, I like to italicize it and leave it on the bottom here. It just reminds me that if I do any other research, this would help me. Now, down here it says, is Vancouver at risk? Which parts of the city would be most affected? So my research so far has not been enough for me to really understand why Vancouver is at risk, or if it is at risk. So this would now require me to go back to researching and be more specific about the Vancouver area. Since I know that it is along fault lines and plates, one of the things I might decide to do is go to the search engine and type in exactly what I'm looking for. So plate tectonic map of British Columbia. So I could really see how the plates are moving in that area. And once I look at the ideas here, I see that here's one example that shows the Juan de Fuca plate against the North America plate. It has the word subduction, which again for level 4 would be something I might want to look up to understand. It also has here another example, and this one's even more clear. It shows that the Juan de Fuca plate is moving this way and the North American plate is moving this way. And look at that, there is Vancouver over here. From my geography, I know this. So I can tell that, yep, the Juan de Fuca plate is definitely, and there we have Vancouver again on this example. It's definitely being combined with these two plates, the North America plate and the Juan de Fuca plate. So I have a couple options here. I can put that information into my project. It also was discussed in class, so that's good. I can even take this this picture, but I would have to cite it first. So if I'm interested, I can decide which of these pictures I really like. I kind of like this one. It shows where Vancouver is. So I need to first visit the site. This is from the Globe and Mail. That's awesome because the Globe and Mail is a site that I can trust. I don't have to do my source infographic for that because it's one of the major newspapers that I said you don't have to do. So this is great. All I would have to do is use my citation machine to make sure that I include that in my bibliography. So I can save this image and I'm going to put it in my natural disasters project here. I'm going to say it's this one here. It's a JPEG image. Great. And I can even include that in my final project if I want to. And for citation machine, so if you're using a site, actually, you know what? We'll do that in a different video. So I'll do citation machine next. Thanks for watching.